September 30th, 1938, Munich, Germany. It's all over. At 12:30 this morning, Hitler, Mussolini, Chamberlain, and Daladier signed a pact turning over Sudetenland to Germany. The German occupation begins tomorrow, Saturday, October 1st, and will be completed by October 10th. His waiting 10 short days has saved the peace of Europe. A curious commentary on this sick, decadent continent. So far as I've been able to observe during these last, strangely unreal 24 hours, Daladier and Chamberlain never pressed for a single concession from Hitler. They never got together alone once and made no effort to present some kind of common democratic front to the two Caesars. Hitler met Mussolini early yesterday morning at Kufstein, and they made their plans. Daladier and Chamberlain arrived by separate planes and didn't even deem it useful to lunch together yesterday to map out their strategy, though the two dictators did. Czechoslovakia, which is asked to make all the sacrifices so that Europe may have peace, was not consulted here at any stage of the talks. Their two representatives, Dr. Mastany, the intelligent and honest Czech minister in Berlin, and a Dr. Masaryk of the Prague Foreign Office, were told at 1:30 a.m. that Czechoslovakia would have to accept, told not by Hitler, but by Chamberlain and Daladier. Their protests, we hear, were practically laughed off by the elder statesman. Chamberlain, looking more like some bird, like the black vultures I've seen over the Parsi dead in Bombay, looked particularly pleased with himself when he returned to the Regina Palace Hotel after the signing early this morning, though he was a bit sleepy, pleasantly sleepy. Daladier, on the other hand, looked a completely beaten and broken man. He came over to the Regina to say goodbye to Chamberlain. A bunch of us were waiting as he came down the stairs. Someone asked, or started to ask, "Monsieur le Président, are you satisfied with the agreement?" He turned as if to say something, but he was too tired and defeated, and the words did not come out, and he stumbled out the door in silence. The French say he fears to return to Paris, thinks a hostile mob will get him. Can only hope they're right. For France has sacrificed her whole continental position and lost her main prop in Eastern Europe. For France, this day has been disastrous. How different Hitler at 2 this morning. After being blocked from the Führer house all evening, I finally broke in just as he was leaving, followed by Goering, Ribbentrop, Goebbels, Hess, and Keitel. He brushed past me like the conqueror he is this morning. As for Mussolini, he pulled out early, cocky as a rooster. Incidentally, I've been badly scooped this night. Max Jordan of NBC got on the air a full hour ahead of me with the text of the agreement. One of the worst beatings I've ever taken. Because of his company's special position in Germany, he was allowed exclusive use of Hitler's radio studio in the Führer house, where the conference has been taking place. Weigand, who also was in the house, tells me Max cornered Sir Horace Wilson of the British delegation as he stepped out of the conference room, procured an English text from him, rushed to the Führer's studio, and in a few moments was on the air. Unable to use the studio on the spot, I stayed close to the only other outlet, the studio of the Munich station, and arranged with several English and American friends to get me the document, if possible immediately after the meeting itself, it not from one of the delegations. Demery Bess was first to arrive with a copy, but alas, we were late. New York kindly phoned about 2:30 this morning to tell me not to mind. Damned decent of them. Actually, at 11:30, I had gone on the air announcing that an agreement had been reached. I gave them all the essential details of the accord, stating that the occupation would begin Saturday, that it would be completed in 10 days, etc. But I should have greatly liked to have had the official text first. Fortunately for CBS, Ed Murrow in London was the first to flash the official news to America that the agreement had been signed 30 minutes after midnight. He picked it up from the Munich radio station in the midst of a talk. Chamberlain, apparently realizing his diplomatic annihilation, has pulled a very clever face-saving stunt. He saw Hitler again this morning before leaving, and afterwards a joint communiqué was issued. Essential part: we regard the agreement signed last night and the Anglo-German naval accord as symbolic of the desire of our two peoples never to go to war with one another again. And a final paragraph saying they will consult about further questions which may concern the two countries, and are determined to continue our efforts to remove possible sources of difference and thus to contribute to the assurance of peace in Europe. Later, on a train to Berlin. Most of the leading German editors on the train and tossing down the champagne and not trying to disguise any more their elation over Hitler's terrific victory over Britain and France. On the diner, Hal Feld of the Hamburger Fremdenblatt, Otto Krieg of the Nachtausgabe, Dr. Behmer, the foreign press chief of the propaganda ministry, gloating over it, buying out all the champagne in the diner, gloating, boasting, bragging. When a German feels big, he feels big. Shall have 2 hours in Berlin this evening to get my army passes and a bath, and then off by night, train to Passau to go into Sudetenland with the German army. A sad assignment for me.